Hey guys, it's Christian from the Calcio Bros here. Been a couple weeks since the last recap video, but honestly, with games every 4 days, it's very hard to find time to do this. And especially that I'm back working again, come home late, it's tough. And then the odd days I'm off, I'm always doing busy. So at least today, good chance to do a video. Games restarting this weekend, so time to get back into this, and especially that we did have a lot of big results happen this weekend, some shocking results too, and it affects the standings completely. So we're going to get right into that and see how things will change with only 7 games left in the season. Can you believe it? Like, Calcio's already back and it's going to be ending soon. It honestly sucks, like I said, with these games every 4 days, it passes by so fast, and instead of like a few months how it would have been, it's like even less than that. It's only going to be a few weeks. So we just got to enjoy it while it's here and just continue to appreciate that we have it back. I know it'll be restarting again, maybe late August, we'll say September. But then again, after that, after the season's finished, we do have Champions League and Europa League fixtures as well. So at least football won't be going entirely for a long while. But let's appreciate Serie A now that it's still on. So let's get into the matches here. So after what happened last weekend, Lazio losing at home to Milan, so that did dent their Scudetto chances. And since Juve did beat Torino last weekend, it created a 7-point gap in between the two teams. So Lazio were looking to rebound against Lecce, who do struggle at home, but Lecce have always taken big points away from the bigger sides, either when they play at home or they play away. They've always managed to take a point or 3 points away from the big teams like Napoli, Roma, Milan, Juve, Inter. And Lazio was no exception here. They managed to get the win at the Via del Mare. I believe it's the Via del Mare. Anyways, Lecce got the important win here against Lazio, and then that just, like, it completely hurt their Scudetto chances again, because if Juve won again, 10-point gap, was there ever going to be coming back from that? I really don't think so. And this is like, we can all see this. Lazio do not have the team to play every 4 days. They don't have that depth. They don't have the reserve players to ship out every week, to rotate it every few days. Now that the league has even given the okay for 5 substitutions, who's there to bring on? They don't have the depth that Juve do, Inter do, Roma, Atalanta. They just don't. If we're still playing every week, if the season did not get stopped and we were playing every week, Lazio probably would have stood more of a chance, because it gives breaks in between, or longer breaks in between each game, and Lazio would have been able to cope. But they don't have the depth of players. Against Milan, like, they were missing Caicedo and Immobile. But yes, this week they still had him, but they still lost. They don't have the quality of depth that they can use to go and challenge. They have to sub, because again, players getting injured, and especially when you're playing the same 11 over and over again. Every 4 days, especially, your players can be fatigued, and it will cause more injuries, and they won't be able to play, which will leave them out for a while, and they don't have the players to replace them for the long term. So that, it did really put another dent in their title race, and that's their 3rd loss now in 5 games. So, and it's like, or especially their 3rd loss since the restart, and it's not how Lazio want to bounce back since the season restarted. So disappointing result for them, but for Lecce, it does help them, as it helped them move out of the bottom 3, but still puts them only a point above Genoa in the meantime. It is definitely an important step, but they have to keep the positive momentum going forward if they hope to stay up in Serie A next season. They did put in a good display. Gabriel saving as many shots as he could, pulling off some tremendous saves to keep Lecce in the lead throughout the whole game. So that was good on them for sure. They got the important win. And we're going to talk about now the second game that day, which was also another crucial one as well, which was between Milan and Juve. And like I said, especially that Lazio lost, Juve were looking at trying to get the full 3 points at the San Siro and put on that 10-point lead against Lazio, but that just did not happen. Milan have also been the team in form, well, one of the two teams in forms since the restart. And Milan only drew the game against Spal against 10 men, just a tough result for them, but they did bounce back against Lazio with a huge 3-0 win against Lazio in the Olimpico. But here, this would have been a different challenge here. Juve have looked good as well. They've managed to get important victories, but Juve were also without De Ligt and Paulo Dybala through suspension. So Juve they do have players to cope if they're absent, but it just didn't seem like that there. So Juve, right from the break, score 2 goals. 2 goals. They go up 2-0. But Milan did not sit back or not that they didn't sit back. They fought back entirely. They get a crucial penalty from Ibra, and within the span of 5 minutes, they scored 3 goals. Ibra, Kessie, and Leao. Then Rebic finishes it off in the 80th minute. So Milan, no, who would have saw this coming? That Juve go up 2-0 against Milan, and Milan coming back and scoring 4 against Juventus. No one saw that coming. Pioli has been working wonders now with Milan since the break. The break ended, and Milan have looked better and better, and they seem to be climbing up and securing their spot now in Europe. Well, it seems like they're going to, but they have been playing solid. They've taken points, 9 out of 9 points against Roma, Lazio, and Juve. Who would have thought that? And then, especially with Napoli up next, if they can get the win against Napoli, they can definitely pass them, pass Roma too, maybe even seal that 5th spot. We'll see, but they are the team to watch out for now. And yes, they also may not have the quality and depth of the well, but all their players are playing exceptionally well. Romagnoli and Kier are forming a great partnership. A lot of the players finding form. Kessie's picking up his form again. Çalhanoğlu looking great again. Everyone is performing as well as they should be, and even Rebic continue his hot scoring run as well has helped, and he's partnering well with Ibra. So if only Ibra was there the whole season, it may have looked like a different season for Milan. But they're the team to watch out for. So keep an eye on Milan in the remaining games to see how high they can finish and if they can even surpass Roma and Napoli in the standings as well. The next day we had 5 games. 5 games. So first we had Genoa. Well, we had 2 games at 1:30. So that was Genoa and Napoli, Fiorentina, Cagliari. Fiorentina, Cagliari finished in a 0-0 draw. Both teams shared a point, slowly moving up the standings. Fiorentina moves a little bit farther away from the relegation, so it does help them as they're 8 points away from the bottom. So that it is a good result for them. Cagliari just being steady right now, anyways, and just edging off the top 10. Napoli getting a good victory here as they continue to finish in that top 6, maybe top 5 area, because they are 14 points behind Inter right now, so it'll be definitely tough for them to get into a Champions League spot. But they need to finish. They still want to finish in the top 5 at least, maybe top 6. We'll see. It also is important to know, especially that Napoli did win the Coppa Italia. They do get an automatic entry into the Europa League. So wherever they finish, they still get into Europe. But if they do finish in a top 6 spot, the 7th spot, it does open up a spot, the 7th spot, as Napoli are technically already in the automatic entry, so it will open up the 7th spot. But if they do not finish in the top 6, then that means another spot would be a preliminary. I can't even say that word. Preliminary round. I keep struggling with that. So that means it just gets tougher for another team if they want to qualify for Europe. So they'll all be cheering for Napoli to finish a bit higher, but it also depends on the form if they can keep it up as well, just to see how they do. But they get a big win here against Genoa. Genoa, who doesn't get the result they want, as again, with that loss and Lecce's win, Genoa moved down into the bottom three, 1 point behind Lecce, and 6 points ahead of Brescia. So it's not looking good anyways for the Rosso Blue right now, and they need these points. Again, 7 games remaining, and it's very tough to see who will get relegated because it's anything can happen. But you're starting to see some of the teams rise up and get away from the bottom, and ensuring that they won't be going down. And especially if Genoa don't want to go down, they need to start getting some positive results. But they didn't get the one here. Now for the 3:45 games, there was 4 of them here. So Torino, Brescia, Torino, who finally get a win now. It's their second win in 5 games after going 3 games, with 3 consecutive losses. So they get an important win over Brescia here, who also are struggling in the relegation battle, and they are second last. I don't think Brescia will have what it takes to get out unless a miracle happens. Yeah, they did win last time against Verona, did stun them, but at the same time, they're too inconsistent to pull off these positive results. So it doesn't seem like they'll have a chance at saving themselves. We had Bologna Sassuolo. Sassuolo playing the away victory here, and they've been playing well. Both teams in the top 10 right now. Sassuolo even creeping behind Milan right now. They pass they're ahead of Verona, tied on points, but anyways ahead. That's their third consecutive win. They are undefeated as well. 3 wins, 2 draws in their last 5 games. So that's good momentum for De Zerbi's men. They could even creep up for the 7th spot as well. So who knows if they keep up this form. But they have to hope the teams ahead of them start slipping up as well. Because again, they're only 6 points behind Milan and 8 points behind Napoli and Roma. So anything can happen here. Keep an eye out for them because they do play some good football as well. Atalanta keep up their good run of form, winning 2-0 against Sampdoria. And this win puts them ahead of Inter by a point and behind Lazio by 2 points. And 9 points behind Juventus. So they're really creeping up there, and Atalanta could actually finish second. It's unbelievable. They've played exceptionally well. They are undefeated in 13 games, 12 of them being wins. So I don't think anyone, yes, we saw how they had a great season last year, but Atalanta are incredible. They're not made up of superstars. They have a few great players: Ilicic, Malinovsky, Papu Gomez, Zapata. But they're just playing so great under Gasperini that they're exceeding all expectations and making themselves like the team to beat. Really, it's incredible. So they could eventually finish second, and I'm not sure if they could catch Juve, but 9 points isn't that much if Juventus do slip up. We do have an important game next week too, which we will get into as well. But anyways, Atalanta just continue their form, and it is incredible. That last game on July 8th was Roma-Parma, and Roma finally get a win here after 3 consecutive losses. Again, in 2 of them, okay, against Napoli and Milan, which were hard, but then they also had that home loss against Udinese, so that was definitely a tough result to get. And a win here against Parma was important because Parma were also fighting for Europe as well, but they seem to slow down as well. They condemned Parma to a 4th consecutive loss since the break restarted. Now Parma won it because they were up there with Verona and Milan, but it doesn't seem like they'll be up there now. Roma keeping their foot on the gas, or trying to get back on the gas pedal now, trying to aim for. I don't think they'll get Champions League football. They just want to fight to keep their spot in the top 5, top 6, secure their spot in Europa League. But it'll be tough. Like I said, they're tied with Napoli on points. Milan's only 2 points behind them. So And think about it too right now. I'm not, well, Milan have the head-to-head over them as well. Napoli Roma. It's hard to say who has the head-to-head over that, but it's still very, very close right now. Uh, well, actually, head-to-head is tied. Uh, Roma won 2-1 at the Olimpico, while Napoli won 2-1 at the São Paulo. So I guess it'll just come to goal differential if they finish higher as well. Goal differential, yeah, probably that, or who knows what else they'll go by. But it depends also because, especially too, if three teams finish tied on points, it becomes like a mini standings and who picked up the most points against each other. So can't really say how that'll work out right now because again, Milan's not level on points, but it'll be an interesting finish. But Roma have to keep up the momentum if they don't want to lose out on their spot and have to go through the qualifying rounds. I'm not even going to say the other word. Keep tongue twisting myself. But anyways, they want to avoid that. They want the automatic entry and making sure they get European football next season. Now, the last two games on round 31 were Spal Udinese, where Udinese took a huge 3 points away. After that's good for them. You know, they get they're unbeaten in three. Yes, they may have drawn Genoa, but they got the huge win against Roma the round before, and now this game against Spal. Spal still not looking good for them. They have 1 foot in B right now, so it looks like they will be the first team relegated, perhaps if they lose another game, depending how the other teams do above them. So it all depends on Lecce and Genoa's next games as well. But Spal looking more and more likely to end up in the second tier next year. Udinese get the crucial 3 points to help move them away from the bottom and just slowly creep themselves and help edge themselves into staying into safety next season. Now, the last game was Verona Inter, and once again, Inter, yes, they were down at half. They come back, and then Verona scores. Another late draw for Inter, and that's not what they want. They cannot hold a lead now. Playing against some of these teams every few days, same thing. Sometimes it's different. They do have the depth of players, but I think it's just the tactics that Conte is doing is not holding up week after week. You know, they could still finish in the top four, but their title chances not happen. They're 10 points behind Juve. Still could happen, but they want to finish higher up the standings now, especially too with the draw. Atalanta past them. They're pulling. Well, they're only 3 points behind Lazio as well, but it's gonna tough to see how well they can recover. They need to be consistent in these games, considering everything is important. Heck, who knows if Roma or Napoli or whoever could pass them, but it's very tough. 14-point gap between them. I, I'm I'm pretty sure like we're gonna have our top four. The Europa League spots are probably gonna be a little we sort of see who's going to be there, but it could be shifted depending how results go in the next in these few games. But top four, I feel, will be Juve, Lazio, Atalanta, and Inter. But depending who finishes where, that's all up in the air. It's still close. Again, it's only a 10-point gap between four teams, but it's still looking like Juve could edge out in the Scudetto race. But they can't have any more slip ups if they want to maintain that, especially considering. Um, like if they can win their next game, Lazio loses, then it's probably over. But it also depends. Like I said, Atalanta is very, very close as well if they keep up their good form. And like I said, the big game next weekend, which I'm going to get to very shortly, that's going to be an important fixture as well. But I do want to point out with Juventus, they did have a lot of the smaller teams to play, but now 7 games left. They still have to play Atalanta, Napoli, Roma, Lazio as well. So 4 out of their 7 games already. That's top half of the table. Like that's 4 out of the top 6 teams right there, and they need those points to pull themselves away. And like I said, the next game that's coming up for them, is Juventus Atalanta. So they have to come up with something in order to stop La Dea from continuing their hot streak. Like, I know they're getting a couple of their players back from suspension, but they really have to be up on their game if they hope to get anything. So other than that, let's also get into the other games of that are coming up starting this weekend as well. So July 11th, we have 3 games. So one at 11:15, which is Lazio Sassuolo. Lazio really hope to get back to winning ways. 3 losses in their last 5, not what they want. If they want to have any chance of catching Juventus, they need to get the win. They cannot afford dropping any more points in these last 7 games. And like I said, they don't have the team to really compete every 4 days, usually week to week, but they need to find a way to manage with the remaining few games here. So a win against Sassuolo would be perfect for them. Sassuolo want to get a win, edge themselves closer to Milan, and perhaps sneak into that Europa League spot. It's all play for there at the Olimpico. 1:30 Brescia Roma. Huge points here for Brescia if they can somehow steal them away from Roma. It would help move them out or just move them up, or actually not really. They would go 3 points behind Genoa. They would still stick in the penultimate position in Serie A, but it does get them a little closer to Genoa, who again are 6 points behind them, but it depends how they do in their game. They can pick up these points, but they have to hope these other teams don't get anything if they have any chance of staying up. Roma want to continue after they won their last game to help distance themselves from Milan, hopefully pull away from Napoli if they can. That does depend, but like I said, they want to finish in that top 5 spot. We'll see how that goes. Then the last game at 3:45, like I said, is Juventus Atalanta. That is going to be a huge game, all to play for there. Juventus want to get back, just get their head straight after that abysmal loss to Milan, where they did give up a 2-goal lead and conceded 4. You would have not, again, like you would not have thought Milan would score 4 against Juve, especially coming back after 2 goals down. They really have to tighten stuff up if they plan to go anywhere and to pull away from Lazio, but they have to see how Lazio do in their game as well. So, and especially Atalanta, who's been creeping up, it would help because if Atalanta do win, they'll be 6 points behind Juve. They could pass Lazio as well, depending, but it will make the Scudetto race even tighter if Atalanta pull anything away at the Allianz Stadium. So, really keep an eye out and see how that game goes. Next, on Sunday, we have a whole bunch of games here. So 11:15, we have Genoa Spal. So that's going to be a huge bottom relegation battle here. Genoa want to get points because they can move past Lecce here. And Spal, they don't really have anything to play for. They're going to still fight to try and stay up, but it doesn't seem like that. They're in such poor form. Both teams are in such poor form, but Genoa maybe could be the better side here. It could end in a draw, but a draw won't do these sides any good. They want to get the full 3 points. So it's going to be a great match here to see who will want it more. I think there's more at stake for Genoa because, again, a win will move them out. Spal, as much as a win would do them great, it would just make them pass Brescia. So it would be more pressure on those two, but I feel Brescia and Spal are going to be the 2 teams going down. That 3rd spot is still up to play for, and Genoa don't want to be that 3rd team. 1:30, we have 4 games. We have Cagliari Lecce, another match for Cagliari as they just want to continue their run up the table. They're sitting at 11th spot right now, but they can move into the top 10, still be a great accomplishment for them. Lecce want to pick up another victory here, just maintain some distance against Genoa depending on how their game goes as well, because if they win, they could go 4 points ahead of them. They'll still be in the same spot too, just under Sampdoria, but it'll still help push them away from Genoa and distance themselves with each game passing by every day or every week, whichever you want to call it. After that, we have Fiorentina Verona. So that's another good game there. Fiorentina looking like they're going to be safe, but they still want to get a victory here, be a little more consistent. They have only 8 wins compared to their 11 draws and 12 losses. So not a very great record for La Viola, but they just want to maintain, uh, I guess, a middle of the table pack sort of thing. So they hope to get something good. Verona, who want to get a victory and just start battling again for the European spot. They're level points with Sassuolo. A win here again would bring them close to Milan. They were playing so well too. They were playing above expectations, and they were really playing some great football. So if they want to continue that from before the break happened, that's what they need to do. And a victory here against Fiorentina will help really bring them back to form as we saw before everything stopped. Parma Bologna, two teams just looking again middle of the pack. Bologna could move up a little bit higher. They could pass Sassuolo and Verona. Mihajlovic's men have done well. They even like it. If you saw the other day, they did come back and beat an Interside who did not look the greatest at all. So they're always a surprise package. Bologna, who knows what could happen between these two teams. Parma just want to regain some form. They don't want to continue losing. Again, 4 consecutive losses. Whoever wants that, not the best result for them. So it's going to be a good battle here. You do have Cornelius as well, who's a good striker, has 11 goals all season, but then again, 6 of those have come against Genoa in both games. So it's lots to play for, really. Last 1:30 game, we have Udinese Sampdoria. So this is another big game here at the bottom. Only 2 points separate, 3 points separate these two sides. A win for Udinese would help push them up farther away from the relegation battle, and then a win for Sampdoria would even push them away further away from Lecce, which could dampen their chances. But that could help save Sampdoria in the end, but it'll make it tougher as it only between Lecce and Genoa, maybe depending how their games go. So they just want to move away. A win for Sampdoria will also put them past Torino as well. So it makes Torino a little uneasy as well, but Torino still have all to play for as well. Torino, I feel, will save themselves. They do have a good team, a good bunch of players, so they really have to play well if they want to do anything here. It's going to be a good battle. That's all I can say. It's going to be a good battle. It should be an entertaining game as well, but maybe just a draw will settle these two sides. So last game on Sunday at 3:45, we have another big game here. Is between Napoli and Milan. So the game at the San Siro did finish in a draw 1-1. So this game could be important. Milan wins. They pass Napoli and go in that 6th spot, but it does depend too, like I said, of where Napoli finish as well. Like they already have that Coppa Italia victory, but Napoli do want to finish higher. They have been playing with good form, so they do want to be playing some good football and making sure they keep up their good run of form. But Milan are the team to beat right now since the break ended and Serie A has restarted. So it'll be good to see how these two teams do. Gattuso playing against his former side as well that he played and coached for. So that it's gonna be a really good game at the San Paulo. So be sure not to miss it on Sunday at 3:45. Now the last game of round 32 is on Monday, 3:45. Inter Torino. Inter just won consistency. That's all they're trying to do right now is not lose or tie every other game, not give up a lead. They just want to stay consistent, stay positive, but they need to be exceptional. They should, they got to take advantage of a struggling Torino here who are also trying to stay away from the bottom, but anything can happen. Like I said, we did see Inter lose to Bologna at home. They gave up leads to Sassuolo, Verona. Like, okay, those are better sides, but still, Torino can have good players as well. They have to be sure and get what they need done and not leave it up to the team, like anyone doing that, right? So they need to just be better. Conte's men have to be better for sure. So it's gonna be one to watch to see how the Nerazzurri can react after another setback. And they don't want to finish lower than Atalanta and Lazio. They want to finish as high as possible, still potentially challenge for the Scudetto, but I don't think it will happen. We'll see. So that's it, guys. Bit of a everything recap for the last few days, mainly round 31. Talked about a bit of the standings as well as the upcoming fixtures for round 32. So let me know what you guys think about these games that happen. What did you guys think of Milan's comeback? Do you guys think Lazio will be able to find a way to win the Scudetto, or will Atalanta somehow creep in there and make it more of a challenge for Juventus? Be sure to let us know, comment below, tell us your thoughts on what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the bell to receive notifications on all the latest videos. Follow us on Twitter, Calcio_bros, and we hope to hear from you guys soon. Ciao.